Hi, I'm Peggy, your host. Thank you for tuning in to FUNDAY Finance. It seems like every time you turn on the news these days, someone is talking about inflation. This seemingly magical force pushes up prices on everything from gas to peanuts and even housing. There are many potential causes for this wave of inflation, but one thing is for certain, no one is happy about paying more for the things they need.
In general, economists agree that there are three root causes to inflation: cost-push inflation, demand-pull inflation, and inflation caused by an oversupply of money. In the next few episodes, we will break down all three. The first and arguably the major cause of inflation in 2022 is cost-push inflation. Like the name suggests, this inflationary pressure is caused when the cost of production rises. When the cost of making something rises, then companies usually pass on this added expense to customers. More specifically, three things cause the cost of production to rise: more expensive materials, increased labor costs, and disasters.
Besides gas, semiconductors have become a hot commodity, causing prices to rise on just about anything you can think of. Open up your favorite smartphone or precision-guided bomb and you find a chip, because everything these days has gone digital. Increased demand, compounded by slower shipping time during the pandemic, caused semiconductor giant TSMC to increase the price of chips by 20% last August. Want to know why your iPhone or truck is a bit more expensive now? You can thank TSMC for that, but at least they're paying more taxes now because they're making more money.
Rising material costs then make it hard for people to buy the thing they need. This in turn puts pressure on companies and the government to raise wages. Even though the federal minimum wage of $7.25 in the US hasn't increased since 2009, California, the US most popular state, has pledged to raise the minimum wage to $15.50 in 2023 due to soaring inflation. However, even though this release is aimed at helping the most vulnerable, some economists believe wage hikes will make inflation worse. If the state government mandate that Amazon warehouse workers are paid $15.50 an hour instead of $15, Jeff won't eat the losses. He'll spread the pain to customers, which will make the cost of goods increase, which will possibly cause the government to raise the minimum wage, which will, and the cycle just keeps going on.
On top of materials and labor, disasters such as the war in Ukraine have caused further inflationary woes. Up until late February, 28% of the world's nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium-based fertilizers came from Russia and Ukraine. With the supply of fertilizer now gone from the global market, the price of potash has jumped from $210 per metric ton in 2021 to $565 in April 2022. Since fertilizer, a key material in food production, is now much more expensive, everything from wheat to pork has risen in price, and since the food is more expensive, the price for labor increases. And when the cost of labor increases, the cost of other goods increase to offset losses, all increasing further inflationary woes. To sum up, cost-pull inflation occurs whenever materials, labors, or disasters make goods more expensive. In order to offset these losses, companies make goods more expensive as well, passing on the cost to consumers, who in turn start demanding higher wages to pay for the goods and services they need. If you thought cost-pull inflation was painful, we are just starting our spiral into the inflationary whirlpool. Tune in next time for a deep dive into demand-pull inflation. And that's all for today's FUNDAY Finance. I'm Peggy. Hope you have learned something useful, and be sure to visit our FUNDAY website for more.